First off, new setup. I know, it's weird, you can see the mess. But I don't have a ring light, so I put the camera next to the window so it would get some lighting. Hello! Hello! My name's Andrew Rodas. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I have a very weird story I'm gonna tell. Story times, I've never talked about anyone else but myself. Mainly because I don't like starting drama, and if I feel like if I said someone's name that I haven't talked to in a while, it's gonna cause drama. Ignore the pimple on my face, I am just now realizing it. This shirt is so wrinkly, I'm so sorry, Puma. And The Weeknd. Today I'm gonna be talking about how I tried getting a couple together, and I succeeded, but they hated me for it. Actually, I don't know why they hated me. Afterwards, there was a lot of miscommunication. Actually, there was no communication. Now, I am obviously gonna change people's names. I'm kind of friends with all of them but one. I'm gonna change all their names, it's no big deal. You don't need to know their names to like enjoy the story. You can probably guess if you live in this town who I'm talking about. Okay, this all happened my junior year. A lot of things were happening that year. I didn't really talk to people in my grade. I talked to people who were older than me or younger than me, but never my grade because I didn't really like them at the time, but at this time, I didn't really like my grade like that. A lot of things were happening junior year. I was not out of the closet yet. That's not the point of the story. How I'm gonna tell the story is my point of view, but I'm also gonna tell you what I've heard from the others that were involved in the story. Things I did wrong and they did wrong. I'm not sugarcoating anything. I hate when people do that. They only tell like the good parts of the story to make themselves look good. Honestly, none of us are the same person we were junior year of high school. You're judging us on something we're not anymore. People that I did know, I didn't have any classes with, unfortunately. So I had to make friends, and it almost all worked out too perfectly. Chemistry class, I made a friend there because he sat next to me. I don't remember what class I had with her, but I was close to this one girl called Yanira. That's what we're calling her. That's her name in the story. Yanira and me knew of each other, and we never hated each other. When there was a chance to be partners, I would be partners with her. I think we only had math class together. I'm not sure though. Maybe gym. But yeah, me and her were really close, and it was a classic story of like the gay best friend is like friends with like the really pretty girl, because at the time, I don't understand why, but a lot of guys wanted her. And you know, as the gay best friend, the guys went to me. And half the time, these guys weren't cute. I would pretend I would tell her what they just told me to tell her, but in reality, again, I wasn't really out, but you can kind of tell I was gay. You could tell I was gay. I don't know why I said you can kind of tell. Anyways, funny story, I came out as bi because no one's gonna drop that in this town. No one ever drops that. They always bring it up into conversation. We make mistakes, Cameron. One of the guys that sit next to me in chemistry started becoming really close to me. Mind you, I was already kind of close to him. I knew him since childhood. I knew his sister and his mom kind of. We kind of had the same friends. So it was kind of weird that all of a sudden my junior year we started getting close. And then it started to hit me. Maybe he's just being my friend so he can get, you know, close to Yanira. But that ended up not being the case. Oh, we should give this guy a name. We're gonna call him Brian. Brian. He was like, you should invite Yanira to this one thing. I forgot what we did. I think we just went to the park. We didn't have cars. None of us had cars. We were juniors and poor. We're still poor. We all decided to hang out. Mind you, this was September. Everything was going really fast. I already was on a quest to find friends because I had no friends. And I was just like, this is the year I'm gonna try to make friends. So things were going a little too perfect. Then we invited one of our friends one day gonna call him Adam. And the four of us hung out at my house, I believe. And we started talking about crushes. So we literally started listing girls for Brian to date because Brian just got out of a relationship. And I don't know why we thought he needed to be in another relationship, but we did. So we started listing names until me and Yanira looked at each other and we knew one girl that liked him that we think he would like. Me and Yanira were in a school-like store kind of thing. And we made friends with this girl called Jiz. That's what we're gonna call her, Jiz. Anyways, Jiz kind of blushed when we named Brian. When we said his name, she kind of blushed. So me and Yanira kind of looked at each other. We knew we needed to get these two together. We felt like we needed to for some reason. And Adam was also on board. So we told Brian, hey, what about Jiz? And he also turned red. And he was just like, I don't know, man. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know how to do a straight guy voice. Just couldn't finish the sentence. Like he was trying to change the topic. But this is the only reaction he ever gave any of the girls we named. So me, Yanira, and Adam thought we should all try to spend time with them, try to make them hang out together. And weirdly enough, we were all friends, so it worked out. Again, too perfect of a story. So we decided to go to a football game. I think around this time, it wasn't Halloween yet, but we did it again on Halloween. Decided to go to a football game, and Brian is talking to a different girl. Honestly, I'm glad that Jiz was like working on like a confession stand or something, because I think she would have been heartbroken if she saw this. So he was talking to some girl. It didn't look like he was interested. This girl was like a freshman at the time, and he was a junior. Not that it's weird, it's just not something that usually happens. And they were like hugging each other. It was kind of weird. And he didn't even talk about her after we like went home. I actually didn't know how to react to all this, so we didn't think much of it. Then after the football game was over, me, Jiz, and Brian decided to walk home. I let them walk home together because, you know, wasn't trying to cause block. And then we come to find out the next day, the Friday night football game, so Saturday, Sunday. So Monday we found out that Brian is dating this random girl we've never assumed was a factor. None of us were happy about this, Jiz, but she kind of acted like she wasn't disappointed, but she was. And we almost acted like this wasn't a thing. Like Jiz and Brian still hung out after school at the school store or whatever they did. I don't remember. We were pretending like that girl wasn't dating Brian. And Brian didn't have the balls to break up with her for some reason. So this is the part where I did something wrong. That this is the first time you're hearing this, if you're in this story. I told Brian that when I went to a field trip with the girl he was dating randomly, she kissed the guy at the bus. Cause we were doing this bus thing where like we truth or dare people, and one of the dares was like hug a guy, which is what she actually did. She didn't kiss a guy. Just a stupid dare. Like are we 5? These dares were dumb, and you guys are dumb. Anyways, so they hugged and everybody wanted to keep it a secret, not me. I told Brian that they kissed, and like 2 days later was like the dance. I don't know if it was homecoming, what it was, and they broke up. Brian was dancing with Jiz, and the other girl got mad and left the room, and they broke up. But to be fair, they were gonna break up anyways. It was Halloween, and we were all gonna hang out. Yanira wasn't there for some reason. It's gonna be me, Adam, Brian, and Jiz. And another friend that I'm just not gonna name because like her name doesn't pop out in the story ever again. It's Jiz's little sister, I think. So we were hanging out at the football game, and then we left. We had eggs. We didn't really throw them at houses. We threw them at each other. It was a stupid ass game. It wasn't even mischief night. It was the day of Halloween. We threw eggs at each other. We trick-or-treated, I guess. Did we? I don't think so. That's a waste. Why did we do that? But it was a lot of fun. Those two seemed to connect a lot. They were talking a lot, but they were also very awkward. Me and Adam were very happy for them. And days go by. We're like pushing them to get together. Then all of a sudden they date. Like probably a week later after that. So that mischief night kind of night. They date, but they don't tell any of us but Adam that they started dating. So I was kind of mad and offended, but I didn't do shit. I didn't punish them by like trying to break them up. That wasn't my goal. That wasn't the thing. It's their relationship. It's whatever. But things went down south real quick. Talk was going around. People started saying Yanira was dating Brian, which wasn't the case. That it looked that way, I guess, because they were always talking. They were friends. Yanira never talked about fucking or dating Brian. And Brian never talked about Yanira that way. That is until he mentioned, do you think Yanira likes me? Looked at him, confused, like, why are you even thinking about this? Like, you're dating Jiz. Because, you know, I'm a good friend. He was like, no, man, I just want to know. And I guess he got scared and he thought I was going to tell Jiz. So he told Jiz a different story. But we'll get to that. Basically, we hung out at my house for Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving. It was just like school break. So we hung out. It was like the 5 of us. We made tea. We played games. We played Jenga. Adam is like really close friends to Jiz. Like they're just friends. They're not fucking. They're not dating. Brian gets mad and aggressive and he pushes Adam like by both shoulders like that. They don't even have context. Like there's no context to it. They're not talking. Nothing's happening. Like you're just like telling him like that, holding him like that. And Adam's like, dude, chill. Which was weird. No one really talked about it afterwards. We just pretended it didn't happen. And Yanira and Jiz weren't really talking for some reason. I was kind of confused. Cordial around each other, but they weren't really talking. Guess it was awkward between them. I didn't really notice. I think what was happening is that Brian thought Adam liked Jiz, and Jiz thought Yanira liked Brian. And you know, because I'm clearly gay, no one thought anything of me, which is good because I didn't like any of you like that. So when we come back from break, Jiz doesn't talk to me in English class. Like I say hi to her and she completely ignores me and it looks kind of awkward. I'm like, maybe she's just like, she didn't listen, maybe she's in a bad mood. I don't know. So I sit down, doesn't look my way. I'm starting to feel like she's mad at me and Brian's not talking to me. Like we just hung out on Black Friday, me and him. It was kind of weird that we aren't talking right now. but we weren't for some reason. I asked Janira, I think she's mad at us. Janira didn't care. She was like, doesn't matter. Not my problem. Everyone was on the same page. Everyone knew why we were mad at each other. And I don't think Janira wanted to explain herself. She didn't like Brian like that, so why did she need to tell Jiz that she didn't? There should already be trust there. And I kind of told Adam some stuff Brian said about him. We kind of distanced from each other after that. And the only reason I told Adam anything isn't because I was petty and I was trying to start shit between everybody, but it was because we were having an argument and he all of a sudden was like, well, that's why he's my best friend. And it's just like, who? He was like, Brian's my best friend. I was just like, okay. And like, he sounded so confident and proud about that, and I was just like, you know what, be an asshole if I don't tell him the stuff Brian has been saying about him. So I show him the stuff Brian has been saying about him through text when it had like a Samsung, and he gets upset. He tells him off through text and they no longer speak after that. I'm not friends with Jiz for some reason. I guess she assumed I was gonna take Yanira's side on this. I'm not friends with Brian because, well, I feel like I had a strong suspicion that he told Jiz something like that Yanira was trying to get with him or something before I snitched on him, which I wasn't going to do because I could have misinterpreted that easily. Those two were mad at me, Yanira, but not Adam. They just didn't think he did anything, which he didn't. They were mad at me and Yanira for no reason. I wasn't really mad at them. Yanira didn't care, doesn't want to talk to them. All of a sudden, me and Brian, like, because we sit next to each other, we do talk to each other on occasionally, and he tries to make it look like we're still like close and we're still like best friends. So I'm just like, yeah, man, like we're still good, but we're not. Like, I know what you did. And he starts telling me really personal shit. Mind you, ultimately, I'm a really good friend, and I don't want any of my friends to feel bad about themselves. So he starts telling me some personal shit. I help him through it, but then all of a sudden he starts telling me, yeah man, I don't know if I want to date Jiz anymore because she's causing a lot of problems. It's not how I thought it was going to be. So I think long and hard before I even say anything. It takes me like maybe till February. He told me this early December. I don't talk to him all of January. I decide that I'm going to tell Jiz's best friend. I'm gonna call her Stephanie. Whether it's not Stephanie, we don't know. Maybe that's her name, maybe that's not her name. I tell her what he said about Jiz, but I think Stephanie thought that I didn't know she was going to tell Jiz even though they were best friends. But I did know, because why wouldn't you tell your best friends? If someone was talking bad about Yanira, I would have told Yanira everything. That's how it works. No idiot's gonna think you would keep your mouth shut when you're talking about someone's friend, someone's close friend. So I told her everything that Brian just told, well, a month ago told me. And she tells Jiz the day of, but the dumbass tells Jiz in front of Brian. He's so fucking dumb. Why are you fucking dumb? So she tells him in front of Jiz. This girl's a problem starter for doing that in the first place, because you never do that in front of the girl's boyfriend unless you're trying to start shit with someone. Whether it's me, Brian, or Jiz, you were trying to start shit with someone. Because if you were truly trying to help someone, you would have told one of us individually, Jiz or Brian, but you decided to tell both of them in front of each other. Obviously, Brian was gonna say he didn't do that. Why would I make up a lie like that? Why? I don't gain anything from that. Actually being a good friend to Jiz, because she really was my friend at the time and I did like her. Not anymore. But she was my friend, so I wanted to help her in some way. Even though she hated me at the time, I wanted to help her. So obviously Brian denied it, and he was like, no, why would Angel, that's my name if you didn't know. Well, I said my name's Angel in the beginning. You should subscribe. This is the perfect time to clap. Obviously he was gonna say no, so he ended up saying, why would Angel say that? That's so crazy. Like, the way Stephanie told me this, like how he was talking, it sounded like bad acting. And the fact that Jiz couldn't see through that, it's her fault, honestly. You have to understand that I really would have gained nothing from telling you this. I didn't want to see you guys break up. I didn't hate you guys. You hated me. It was not the other way around. And yeah, they hated me for all that time. They didn't want to talk to me. When they broke up, he wanted to be my friend again, but I wasn't ready to be friends with him again because like that was a lot of problem that I did not want. Which again was the reason why I didn't talk to anyone in my grade. There was a lot of things going on. I was coming out that year. I came out like in January. I literally just scratched my head. Do I have lice? Like, just a lot of things happened that year. Junior year was probably my most problematic year, and I didn't want it to come out that way, but it was. If you're watching this, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment down below any stupid stuff that happened to you in high school. This was a dumb problem that didn't need to happen. If you want to see my last week's video, click right here. If you want to see my last vlog, click right here. With that being said,